This is everything over here. The Holocaust Memorial. After a while you start feeling a little bit disoriented, like you're losing your bearings because of the undulating roads and the small tight spaces, as well as just the maze around you, like you don't know where you are anymore, and I'm just randomly turning, just seeing the tight spaces and everything, and like you can barely see what's around you, so yeah. And Hitler's bunker is right behind these infernal buses that are blocking my view. But apparently it's flooded, it's underground. There's this car park looking space over here, so it's probably underneath. And yeah, so this is where Hitler's bunker is, and apparently his the site where he allegedly committed suicide is also somewhere around here, although I heard a different story where his body wasn't found, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where the place of his alleged suicide is, somewhere near here.
Today they're doing sightseeing tours in the house by house, building by building. That was the American sector.
So this is Checkpoint Charlie, where it split the east and west of Germany when East Germany was a communist state. So for this, the Third World War almost started here, where Russian tanks and American tanks were facing each other at one point in time. So it's called Checkpoint Charlie. So right here, the Russians were on this side and the Americans were on this side, and this is the most famous crossing. One country, two systems. Going overseas always poses this challenge of me looking at the wrong side of the road and getting almost hit by a car. So this is a part of the Berlin Wall. So apparently they changed the design 4 times, and then they came up with the idea of why don't we just make it insurmountable by everybody so the refugees cannot climb over. And yeah. Really cool. You don't really see a lot of cars, let alone a lot of non-German automobile over here. I'm not sure what the reason is, but it's probably the patriotism. Like, I would get a German car if I lived in Germany as well. So it's not the case like when I went to Korea and I saw people using Apple phones, but here it's mainly Volkswagen, BMW, etc. Despite it being 6 PM, which is when I reckon people get off work, there isn't a traffic jam at all. And this is because there's enough road space for all the cars. This city was actually planned for 5 million people, but there are only about 3.8 million people in this city. So the Berlin Wall is about 155 kilometers long, and we are only here seeing a kilometer of it. And they're only 83 meters high, which is not very daunting for the people to escape, right? But behind it used to be like dog patrols, policemen, and all the dangers were there.
The second
So the reason why this wall was built was because before 1969, which is before the wall was built, some 3 million people actually escaped from East Germany, which was the poorer communist side, to the richer West side, which was not communist, it was American. So, doctors, teachers, lawyers, engineers, they managed to escape, and then Soviets were like, we need to build a wall, and quite quickly they managed to build this entire wall in 1969. And now it's quite the opposite, where West Germany seems to be declining and East Germany seems to be thriving. So yeah. Contrary to popular belief, Europe is actually really hot. I think the temperature is actually hotter than that of Singapore's weather. Victoria is wunderbar, but she's not labeled lavish-looking. This is the most expensive hotel here. A presidential suite can cost you up to 26,000 euros. This gate is the main entrance and the city was born here.
Most famous German politician of all time.
So I'm finally checked into the hotel and I have a gorgeous view. I'm so happy. It's on the 33rd floor and we are staying in this place called Alexanderplatz. So Platz kind of just means like square, like plaza, something like that. So the thing about German words is that it's very similar to English because of the English etymology coming off from German as well. So words like alt, ALT means old, sounds similar. New, N-E-W, would be N-U-E, I think it's pronounced Neu, correct me if I'm wrong, and so on and so forth. It's quite similar, so you kind of can guess the meaning of the words. Except for maybe hospital, because a lot of European countries, the way they say hospital sounds like hospital, like hospital or something. But here it's called Krankenhaus. So not everything, but some things. So this is the view from the bottom, and I'm gonna put in a picture of the view from the top from my room. So there's this apparel shop and it's called CNA. It's apparently really cheap and you can't really see it, but it's called CNA and it's quite prevalent here. People buy from it. It's considered cheap for clothing, but in Germany they know this place, you know how we say buy and throw away, bata. They do the same here. It's called Cheap and Awesome. Another really cheap departmental store here is called Primark and it's right below the hotel. So honestly, it's quite a good location. This hotel is a 25-hour shop. B&M, or is it called BM? Something like that here as well. So it's a good location. I want to walk some more to hit my 10,000 steps thing, but there's just not much to walk today. So maybe when I go to Prague, I'll walk a lot more and then I will be lamenting the walking. But right now I'm craving the walking.